Yo, what's going on? It's Volcano Beats, the Sampler King, live from the lab, Pots and Pan Audio. We're gonna get into my 3 topics today. Before we do that, hit that like, hit that subscribe for me. We building this thing back up, man. I'm about to be more consistent. I told y'all, we back in the grind with it, so let's get into those 3. Boom. It's been the talk of the music industry for the last couple of weeks, man. Let's go and get into it. The Shure SM7db. Not the B, the DB. Okay, what is the SM7B? The SM7B is the legendary large diaphragm, dynamic microphone that's been out, I think, for more than 50 years, man. It's been around for a long time. It's most famous for being used for Michael Jackson for vocals and like Mick Jagger for vocals too. We've got a couple of them. I've used it for all type of things. I've used it for micing artists, rappers, singers, for micing drums. It's one of the best tom microphones. If you bougie enough with your setup and you got 4 or 5 of them, you can put them on toms, man. You can use it as a kick mic. You can do all type of stuff with it, man. It's like one of those microphones that, and like a C414, those are like the most versatile microphones in like your setup. Like when you get one of those, you're like, okay, cool, I got it for this reason, but I could use it for like 5 other things, man. It's nice. But in our era, currently, we mostly use that microphone for like podcasting and like radio and stuff like that, because basically it's got a decent flat response. I don't think the RE20 has no proximity effect. That one has some proximity effect, but it's lessened. So yeah, it's a good microphone. It's an all over microphone. I've used it on like singers and rappers. They got a lot of sibilance in their vocals, so it can help me out in the mixing process. It bit me in the behind before though, because like when you're trying to get vocals that match what's going on in the industry now you got to add some top end at the mic, naturally cut away, but it's all good. It was definitely worth it. Like I said, I've used it in all type of situations, and now they got this new joint out where the new ones have the cloud lifter built in them. So if you don't know, through all these years, that microphone is a great microphone, but it doesn't give you a lot of gain. So that microphone had to be gained up a substantial amount. So if you got your good preamp to do it, it's fine. But the preamp is going to color it some. But like, let's say this, like literally that's the reason I bought an SSL, because the SSL's got one of the cleanest preamps. So you gain that SSL up a little bit, you don't get as much fuzz or as much like color as you would from like an API or a Neve. And that's the easy way to use it when you like just trying to get just clear vocals. But now with everybody to combat that, we've been using cloud lifters. So if you don't know what a cloud lifter is, the cloud lifter is just this little device, a little inline device you put in the chain, turn on phantom power, and now you get, I think it gave you like 20 dB of like clean gain without like it being preamp gain. So just clean gain, no preamp noise, no preamp, like no preamp basically. So it was a way just to boost that volume on that microphone without adding any color. So now they got it built right in the microphone. And what's nice, the microphone, they retain like the voice shaping control. So like the high pass filter, I think you can cut some of the highs, low pass filter on top on the microphone. They left those features on the microphone and just added the preamp stage on there. My honest opinion, when I first saw it, I'm like, for somebody like me, I don't think that'll be, it don't make a difference, because like for somebody that's like a sound engineer, okay, it's cool to be able to just hurry up and do it and hurry up and get it set up faster. That one cable in the chain, the difference is gonna help. But I like having cloud lifters, because cloud lifters, like if you got ribbon microphones, cloud lifters are dope to put on ribbon microphones, because it'll keep you from blowing up the microphone, add gain, and it's gonna keep you from, basically the 48 volt circuit doesn't go through the cloud lifter. So it's like a wall right there. Boop, somebody makes a mistake and turn on a 48 volt, it stops there though, it don't go to the actual microphone. So it's a cool way to protect like ribbon microphones. I learned that like literally working at the studio with $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 microphones laying around. Like, nah, put a cloud lift on that. Can't use the microphone until you put a cloud lifter. So whenever I got ribbon microphones of my own, I was like, okay, cool, we're gonna put cloud lifters on it. So for the nerd, gear nerd of this thing, it kind of don't make a difference because like those are just devices. Because, oh my bad, I forgot to say that. It's like the same price. It's like the actual SM7 with the cloud lifter. And then microphones like the SM7 last so long. Like I bought one brand new, but I bought two like used. Like and there's no difference. Like they all work the same because that microphone, like that's one of the microphones you just throw it down the stairs as long as you didn't like football, like spike it into the ground. You cool. That one just fell off many stands and many like podcast situations and got elbowed and stuff like that. And the microphone works fine. So that microphone is not one of those mics that you're gonna tear up. So buying one of those has been lightly used, and a cloud lifter is actually cheaper than like buying this new microphone. So I'm like, a new cloud lifter. So I'm like, okay, cool. Who is the target market for this though? This right here, exactly what I got going on. Content people who aren't studio people who just know how to use some gear or need the gear to be just a part of their production. You feel what I'm saying? Like you record podcasts, you and your podcast peoples, and it's for y'all buy these microphones, y'all flick them on, flick. Now y'all get more volume and more gain out of them without having to have cloud lifters or be pushing all that preamp gain. So I believe those are the target market. Like I say, for me, in my opinion, I don't really think it's like really built for like dudes that are like real audio engineers, because it's like if you're a real audio engineer with a real setup, you already got like a SMB and a SM7B and a couple cloud lifters. You already got that stuff. So who's it for? It's mostly for like I say, people who upgrading their podcasts like gear, who might have started off with like a SM58 is like the microphone, and they gon' if you started off with your SM58 as your microphone, yes, this SM7db is for you, because it's giving you the better microphone with the better features that we paid the extra to get. So it's definitely a win-win for like people who are new in the game. But like I say, in my opinion, if you got the gray hairs, you've been in the game for a while, you already got the workarounds, and those workarounds probably gonna last the rest of your career. Like I don't think I'm gonna have to buy more SM7Bs unless like I throw them, somebody steal them or something, or I leave them somewhere. But like far as them not working, I don't put enough abuse on them for me. Some people do abuse them. People put them right there by the snare, and people smacking on them, and like, no, I don't use them on snare. So yeah, I don't see like the point of you got 3 or 4 SM7s already with a couple cloud lifters. But I may be wrong. Let me know, man. Like if you was always like complaining about the extra cable that you had to run between the cloud lifter and the microphone itself, this might be a game changer for you. So for me, it's never been a problem, man. I run cables for a living, so it doesn't really matter. So yeah, that's my first topic, the SM7db. Just came out, man. I was up at GC and one of my mans was like, man, we got it in the back, Joe. I'm like he showed me like a couple days before it came out. I was like, man, this is dope. It's dope that it's right there on the back. You just turn it on. Yeah, it's nice, man. But like I said, I just don't see myself paying more than what an SM7 costs to buy it. I'd rather just buy more SM7s, man. Like, so yeah, that's just me. But yeah, that's my first topic, the SM7db. Second topic, man, it's been a controversial thing in this music industry, man, and this production side. The waves online, AI mastering. What is my take on that? My take on that is not for me. So once again, not being bougie or nothing like that. I'm a mechanic, man. I get in there with the wrench and the hammer. So it's not for me, or like for the people who come to me because they used to a service that they get from me. But like people who, the people who make their own beats and record themselves, and they want to drop albums at a fast rate and be able to make them sound louder, or be able to, for the AI to like kind of give it the sound of the industry right now. I can see how it can like help people, because it's not like it's free or nothing like that. Like because Ozone is here and people still paying like master engineers. So it's not like the game has gone totally changed because of it. It's just another tool in the toolbox for like artists or even producers, man. You a beat maker and you just need like a polish or a sheen on your beat CDs. Hey, I don't see anything wrong with it, because you may not want to get a mix. You may like your mixes, but you may not like it's basically the equivalent of getting the extra ears on your mix before you finalize it. That's part of the reason you go to a master engineer, not just because you just need the mastering. Like, nah, you usually don't let the same person mix that master. They can be good at both. But the point is, you getting another set of ears on there. That's the point of you going to do two separate people, or you being one of them and going to another person. So the mastering thing, I tried it. It did some things with my music that I wouldn't do, like far as like killing some of my like low mids and like adding some highs that I didn't like. But if I was an artist that didn't have ears that can hear those things, looking for those things, and I'm just like, okay, it made it louder, it made it bang, it killed like a lot of the dynamic range, which that's a good thing for like artists according to like what genre you working in. Sometimes you want the dynamic range killed because you working in it because you're trying to be loud. You're trying to compete with the Dr. Dre loudness wars that he started. You're trying to get your music to just blow up out of the speaker as soon as you hit play. So I can see people who trying to do that. So yeah, I think it has a place. It's just one of those things that like, okay, cool, it's not for everybody. And that's fine, because is it gonna really hurt me or what I do? I don't think so. I don't think it's like the Chicken Little thing. We be acting like the sky's falling and all that. I don't think that's the case, man, because like I say, it's not gonna apply to everybody. It's just gonna apply to like certain people, because there's certain people who still ain't gonna know what they doing. And honestly, the people that would use that are not the people that was gonna call master engineers anyway. They not the people who was gonna like call somebody else to master the music. It's probably just helping more people than it is actually hurting others, in my opinion. So I may be wrong about it, you know what I'm saying? Like in a couple of years, it may be the bane of our existence, you know what I'm saying? Like we may have to go work for Waves in about 10 years because they took all the business. I don't know, hopefully not. But like I said, Ozone didn't stop anything. So Ozone, like the stuff that you could do in Ozone, man, like for real. So if that didn't stop it, the one monkey don't stop no show, man. Like this thing is gonna keep going, and you're gonna be able to do whatever you do, and the people who use that are gonna be able to do whatever they do. So like I say, it's clutch for people who just like buy beats off the internet, got some recording gear at the crib, and they mix their own stuff and they want to master it before they put it out. Boom, singer-songwriter type of people. It'd be dope for them. It'd be dope for producers. Would it be dope for people who already go to somebody and already say, okay, cool, I recorded this. Now I need you to mix it and now I need you to master it. Now I don't think they're gonna get a better service than what they already getting. They may not be working with the best mix engineer or master engineer there is, but they can always find somebody if you are already thinking in that way, because you kind of already thinking in a way that you need to be thinking. So all this is gonna do is help people who just put out the music without thinking about stuff. Okay, cool. They got a service now that you can go to. It's not cheap. I mean, it's not expensive. You can just get your songs mastered or whatever, get it to sounding loud and like industry quality, like they say, like whatever that means, for not too much, and have the songs. Because I'm one of those people, I'd rather you have it sound as best as it can rather than you just not put any effort into the last part of it. Because those last steps before the finish line, that's what makes or breaks everything. So yeah, I don't think it's gonna be a bad thing that it's just gonna like totally change and crush the industry, but I think it's just gonna work for who it applies to. It doesn't apply to everybody. All right, topic number 3, man. It's like a plug-in that I just found. I ended up just like a friend of mine, man. He hit me up about it. He told me about this plug-in years ago, though. Maybe not years ago, but like the IK Multimedia Mixbox, man. It takes a lot for a plug-in to be added to like my repertoire because I got a certain way of working. whether that be producing, mixing. I got even sound design and whatever. I got a certain way of working, and this thing Mixbox fits right into that, man. Like, it's basically a way for me to work how I produce inside of Pro Tools. You feel what I'm saying? So with this, what is Mixbox? Mixbox is basically just look at a 500 series rack with all these interchangeable parts that you can use to sound design, mix, do whatever you need to do. You got compressors, EQs in there, reverbs, everything, man. Amp simulators, all type of stuff. Basically, all the ingenuity that IK Multimedia has been coming up with these last 15, 20 years with these plugins, giving us all these different tools. They put it all inside of one plugin, and you can interchange the slots. I'm the type, that's just how my mind works. My mind works, okay, that plus that plus that equals that. So it's like, it gives me a way to like, okay, cool. Instead of having to open up 5 plugins to get this going, like I'm an Ableton dude, because I love using the audio effects rack. So like whenever I teach anybody how to use Ableton, sometimes they may think it's too early, but I want you to start thinking about that super early. So when I'm first starting teaching them how to use audio effects, I use the audio effects rack and start showing them how they can build chains and save them. Boom. Now I can work like that in Pro Tools, even though you got plugins like Sound Toys that already works like that. Waves got one, the rack. In my opinion, maybe Waves, but like Sound Toys don't have enough of the like different types of plugins so that I don't need something else. Like this IK Multimedia Mixbox got enough of everything, so I don't need to go grab something else. Like I say, it's EQs, compressors, reverbs, amp simulators, everything, like 70 different options inside of these that you can interchange and put and make your change with. Man, like I bought it on a whim, just because like it was a website that had a deal on it or something like that. So I'm like, okay, let me cop it, man. Let me see how it is. I didn't even demo it. But I remember my man, Marky Cobain, man, he was telling me about it. Had to be over a year or two ago, man. He's more analog dude. So like, he was like, man, this thing, man, I got, man, it's dope, man. Like it keeps me from using some of the analog stuff I'm using, because he's got a dope 500 series, couple 500 series racks that he uses. Me too. But I'm more of a mixing in a box dude. So this goes right in my lane, man, by me being able to pull up this one plugin and then start grabbing. Because like I say, man, like it's been plugins that you can just put up the rack and then just grab things. They didn't invent the wheel with that. But what they did was gave you, because IK makes good plugins. Like we've been, like they the first company, in my opinion, that started giving us dope stuff. Them and UAD, they the first company that was giving us dope native stuff that was like a little bit out of the box and like almost the quality of like the hardware, man. Like, so that's why I'm loving what was they thing? The T-Racks. With T-Racks, man. I used to love T-Racks. So they basically giving us T-Racks with better quality plugins, more ingenuity over the last 10 years, all inside of one plugin that you can throw on top of a bus or a channel or whatever. And then, because that's how I am, like when I'm in Ableton, I'm always throwing my drums inside of a mix bus and then drawing like a drum bus on top of it. Now, when I'm mixing like somebody else stuff, or even like beats I might have made on an MPC and tracking them in, like let's say this artist, I threw him a beat CD and they like, man, I like beat number 4. That one, I might not even chop that one down yet. I might have just like recorded the 2 track straight off the MPC. Okay, cool, my track outs may not feel as jailed as that one does. Record them joints in Pro Tools, use the mix rack, boom, boom. I literally just did it like last week, man. I got great results because I mix inside of Pro Tools. I don't really like mixing in Ableton. It's just when I'm in Ableton, I'm being more creative, sound designing and just being more creative. When I'm in Pro Tools, like that's the mix thing to me. It's sterile. It feels like, okay, cool. I'm the doctor who's got the operating gloves on with the sterilized tools. It's time to work. It's time to cut up in let's cut the skin and get to work. That's how Pro Tools feels to me. So it's dope that I'm able to get some of that feel that I'm used to using in Ableton inside of Pro Tools by using this one plugin. So yeah, it's definitely a thumbs up, man. I don't really give a number on the meter or anything, but for like, it's like $100. It's worth the $100. I bought it for a little bit cheaper. It's definitely worth $100, man, because like I say, it's basically giving you a way to like just work and implement racks on top of racks, racks on racks on racks, like next to each other, and build a chain and save the chain and be okay, cool. Man, that vocal that I got on that song, I saved the whole chain, even though you can do that in Pro Tools already. But like, you might have wanted to just use all their plugins. You may not be a person that has a lot of like different plugins and stuff like I do. If you just started from scratch, man, just buy this. Like, you will be good for a few years with this. If you, I wouldn't say a brand new person. If you brand new, just stick with the plugins in the DAW. But if like you getting to the point where, okay, you hitting the ceiling of like, okay, these plugins in the DAW, I need to do something else. Something like Mixbox is phenomenal. Because like I say, you'll be good for years. You got like 70 different options, not like, got 70 different options in this thing. So yeah, man, it was definitely a plus, big win for that one. I would have paid more for it. It was probably worth double. Like, it's worth like $200 because of all the stuff that comes with it. So yeah, I'm fortunate we in the time that, yeah, these plugins prices are like plummeting. I've been talking about it. We all been talking about it. It's kind of crazy how much plugins cost right now. And nothing compared to what they used to be. I don't know why, but we'll find out soon, man. I guess because like we used to hearing a lot of crappy music now, so who cares? Like, to mix a lot of this stuff, man, people just put it out. That's why my other topic is important. Use the waves, or at least do something to it to make it sound decent. So yeah, man. But yeah, these plugins prices are plummeting, and we benefit from it, like with stuff like IK Mixbox. That's definitely gonna be on my, I'm gonna try to find a way to work it on my master bus, man, or at least my drum bus. It's definitely gonna live on my drum bus from this point on, because I like to be able to like just build the chains with the different slots. Great piece of gear, man. Like if I was British dude, I'd be saying it's a great piece of kit. So yeah, those are my 3 topics, man. Do me a favor, hit that like, hit that subscribe, stay in tune with me, keep rocking with me. We're gonna definitely keep hitting you with these weekly joints and a couple other little special ones in between. Until then, get back to work. Peace.